Hello, everyone. Today in our podcast, we are joined by a truly fascinating individual from Uzbekistan to Korea, navigating life is in overseas Korean, speaking four languages: Russian, Uzbek, English, and Korean. Alex has worn many hats: factory worker, English teacher for Korean students, and now fast rising star in software development. With a background in economics and passion for community involvement, Alex's journey is nothing short of inspiring. Let's dive into this incredible story of adaptability, growth, and perseverance. Welcome to the podcast, Alex.
Thank you.
So, first question, introduce yourself, please. Where are you from, and where did you receive your education?
As you mentioned, I'm from Uzbekistan. I was born in Khiva, Horizon region. That's where I lived until I turned 22, and that's where I got my undergraduate degree in the Department of Philology. And now I work as a software engineer in Korea.
Yeah, this is good. So, what sparked your interest in informatics and technology?
I think the main reason was my teacher in my academic lyceum, because he is the person who taught me how to work with zeros and ones in informatics. And he is the one who inspired me by preparing me for our school competition. And I got the first place in it. That's how I got into informatics.
That's interesting. So, moving to Korea, what motivated your decision to move to Korea, and how has influenced your career?
Well, I didn't have a specific reason to move to Korea because I have never been interested in Korea at all. I never watched Korean movies, never listened to Korean songs. It's just maybe because of my grandparents and just my ancestors, because they were born here and they used to live in this land. And I just wanted to experience what they experienced before I was born. That's the reason I just visited Korea, and now I live here.
It sounds great. So, how was your job hunting process in Korea? And you also first did your master's, I think, in economics or tourism something. Then, so why you decided from shifting from economics to technology and this IT stuff?
So, to begin with, I came here to work in a factory because I didn't plan to stay in Korea. So I said, let's spend a year in Korea, try to make some money, and then move to Europe, move to Germany. That was my initial plan. And I spent 8 months only working, like non-stop,
Okay.
even on the weekends. And by that time, by spending 8 months, my dad called me and he wanted me to get my master's in Korea. And I was just looking for the options. And among the best available options, there was Busan National University and Seoul National University. But when I called Seoul National University Admission Center, they said that admission period has been over. So it was too late. I needed to wait for 6 months, or I needed to apply to Busan National University. And I just decided to go with Pusande, and I chose the Department of International Studies. My major was international trade. So it wasn't like I planned it. It's more like it was the best available option at that time.
So, what was the financials of your studies? It was self-support, or you got scholarship?
I didn't apply for any scholarship because I didn't even know about KJSP or some other scholarships. So I just applied it and I supported myself. But I got a great discount from the university. so I didn't spend too much money on it. Yeah.
So it was 2 year program, or how many years did you study?
I studied for 4 semesters,
Okay.
2 years, and yeah, just 2 years.
Then you decided to work. First, you said you worked for this teaching job, right? In Seoul.
Yeah. So my last semester was when coronavirus started,
Mm-hmm.
and every class was online. I didn't have to go to school, which was good because it meant that I was able to work. And I just started applying for jobs. I think in December 2019. I found a couple of part-time jobs, teaching jobs, worked for a while, and I wanted to switch to full-time
Mm-hmm.
position. It took me about January, February, 3 months, and in 3 months I found 2 or 3 Hagwons that offered me a position. It was very good for me because my schedule was very flexible and I was able to work. And I just chose one Hagwon in Hyundai in Busan. They offered me 2 room apartment, and the salary was also good, and the schedule was also very, very comfortable. I worked only 4 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, and I had a lot of free time.
And did you have official documented job, or it was kind of you made contract?
It was a contract, but it was I was accepted as an official teacher, and the thing is that they were surprised. They didn't know how to treat me because I wasn't from a native English-speaking country, and I'm not a Korean.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I used my Urgench university degree to work in Korea. I think I'm the only one who used Uzbek diploma in Korean education system. And I spent 3 years working as a teacher in one Hagwon.
Okay, I see. So, how was shifting from this academic job, I mean teaching children, to IT,
Yeah.
software development? Why and when you decided to go for programming?
It was a kind of spontaneous decision because I just got bored. I had a lot of free time and I didn't know what to do. And luckily, I have a lot of software engineer friends. And we used to meet a lot and play board games a lot. And one day they just said, why don't you start software engineering? And that's how it started. I asked them for some advice, for materials to learn, and they provided everything I need. So it was more like out of the boredom and my friends. Yeah. They helped me with everything, with starting. Even when I started working, they always supported me. Even now when we talk, we share a lot of ideas, with each other.
Yeah, that's good. So you go through training to watch and learn the documents or videos shared from your friends. Maybe go through some online videos and stuff, and you started applying for jobs, right?
Yeah.
So how was this job hunting process, and how did you find your first job in programming?
So my first job was not in Korea. My first job, I think it was a Kazakh company, and it was a freelancing job. I didn't apply for it. Again, thanks to my friends, I didn't even look for a job because they have a lot of friends in Kazakhstan, in Uzbekistan. They just found me a remote freelancing job, and it was React, front end, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React stack. So again, I think I'm lucky to have my friends They helped me to get my first job, yeah, without even applying.
That's good. So, regarding professional experience in software development, could you share some main projects you have done in software development? So you focus in web development, right?
Yeah, I started as a front-end developer in the beginning, and then I worked a little bit on the back-end side, but then switched to mobile development. Yeah, using React Native now. One of the not biggest, but let's say one of the projects that I did, it was a coffee subscription application in my first company. So, for example, we buy coffee every day. We go, maybe we have our favorite coffee shop, and we go there, buy any coffee drink, and go to work or to do other stuff. Instead of paying for coffee every day, we create an application where you pay a monthly fee, which is cheaper than paying every day. And if you have that subscription to the coffee shop, you can just go, show your QR code or barcode, and get coffee for free, basically. So let's say you pay 3,000-4,000 a day. If you drink it 20 times a month, it's gonna be 60,000 won at least. But in our application, you could buy a subscription for 40,000 or 30,000 won, which is a good deal, I think. So we created that application using React Native. Another application in the production is the app that I'm working on right now in my current company. It's a review app where users can make a review on a product and earn money if other users who like your video. More like Instagram Reel, but pays you money. I think this one is the biggest project we are making because we have a lot of APIs, a lot of technologies in that application, starting with basic JavaScript, React Native, Express, ending up with IBM Cloud, Google Cloud, AWS, Google Transcoder API. A lot of technologies is used in it, yeah.
That's good. So what was work process like for you in Korea?
In my current company, or?
Yeah, before you also have experience working in Uzbekistan, and you also worked in Korea in teaching in this factory job. So what's main difference working for software company?
Software company. Well, a lot of people dream of becoming software developers in Korea. To be honest, for the first 1 or 2 years, it's going to be very hard because you need to learn a lot of things. Your salary is low. So, and in many cases, people dream about or they want to go back to factories or teaching jobs because, for example, when I was a teacher, my salary was like 2.6 million won per month, but I had 2-room apartment. I didn't pay for it. And I just got my salary. Out of 2.6, I got like 2.4 maybe.
After tax.
Yeah. And that's all my money. I don't need to pay for my apartment. I don't need to pay for anything. Even the utilities like electricity, gas, it was in my apartment, so I didn't pay for it. My employer paid, which is a good deal, I think, because as a software developer, when you land your first job, your salary, your yearly salary can, I think the average is 36 million now.
Starting point. Right?
Yeah, it can be less, like 30 million. It can be more, like 40 million, but usually it's like 36. And if you, especially in Seoul, if you pay for your rent and you pay taxes, you don't get that much money. let's say 36 million divided by 12, so 3 million.
Around 3 million.
Yeah, 3 million, and then taxes, 2.7 maybe. You get 2.7, and then you pay in Seoul 500,000 at least. So 2.2 million, and you're a software developer, and you work more than compared to English teacher, because English teachers, it's more relaxed. Even factory workers, they don't use their, I mean, it's not as stressful as software development job. So in the first 1-2 years, it's very hard. But then once you get that experience, and once you grow to that level, it's going to be a lot of easier, because you work the same amount, but your salary increases. For me, again, I'm lucky to have my previous experience. My first salary was 36 million, but in 3 months I made it 46. 38 and then 46. So in 3 months it increased 8 million.
In same company or?
Same company.
Same company.
Same company. Yeah, we signed a new contract. So initially it was 38, and then switched to 46 million.
Yeah, one of your last podcasts you mentioned that it's good strategy to applying other companies.
Yeah.
Even you have this full-time job, because it can, using it, you can leverage your salary, right?
Yes.
So it's a good point.
Nobody wants to pay you money. Your employers, they don't want to pay you a lot of money, because they think, I mean, it's not like they think, they just don't want to spend a lot of money. But once you get another offer from a better company, they try to fight for you. They try to like keep you in the company, and you can negotiate your salary again. Like I work in my current company now, but from time to time I apply for another job. Even though I don't want to quit my company, I just want to be updated on how the market is changing, what technologies are getting trendy, and just I want to know how much money do companies pay now. I think in the last 1 or 2 years, the salaries have been decreasing compared, for example, to 2022, 2023, because at that time salaries were increasing rapidly, but then AI came, then financial crisis came, and then we have like salary decrease now.
Yeah, that's good. So regarding, so you fluently speak 4 languages, right?
I don't
So
know.
how it's useful in Korea speaking English and Korean in a work environment?
So all right, when you work with Koreans, it's very important to know Korean. You don't have to speak it, but at least you need to understand what they are saying, because family is not our company is not our family. We don't need to be too friendly, but if you are friendly, you can meet a lot of nice people. What company wants from you is that you can understand the work process. You can understand what to do and what not to do. So in that term, knowing a language is very important. Again, you don't have to speak it, but at least you need to understand it. As for English, I think it's even more important than Korean, because your job, your code is in English. You create variables, functions in English. So English is very important, and I think you can become a software engineer without knowing English, but you can't become a senior software engineer without English. So I think it requires both skills and language.
Sure.
Yeah.
So regarding the knowing Korean level,
Yeah.
knowing intermediate level of Korean language will be enough getting jobs in Korea?
I think so. Yeah. Depending on what position and what company you are applying. For example, if it's a Korean company that makes money working only in Korea, there is a high chance that you will not get that job because why do they need you? But if it's an international company or let's say Korean company that makes money from abroad, for example, our company right now, we are a Korean company, but we can apply our skills and we can offer our services in other countries as well. That's where foreign developers are welcomed. Yeah.
How about interview process? It's conducted in English or Korean?
Mostly in Korean, but again, it can be flexible because in many cases I had interviews in English. Even my CV, the whole application was in English. It depends on the company. But again, if you know Korean, then Korean is better. Especially now, a lot of companies are requiring Korean now. It was different in 2022, 2023, it was very different. Like, they were happy if you speak English. But now, it's very hard to satisfy companies, so they started requiring Korean. Because now there are a lot of developers in the market. Now you have to compete with local developers. In the past, there were more startups than developers. Now it's different, more developers than startups.
Yeah, I think so. Currently, economy is, it depends on the economy, right?
Yeah.
Overall economy is not doing well. We have political instability in the world. So during the COVID period, the government also injected a lot of money for the economy. So we had so many projects in IT jobs.
Yeah.
Now it's different scenario. Okay. So regarding what skills did you acquire working for Korean company?
What skills?
It can be communication skills,
yeah.
technical skills.
Yeah.
Any.
So I think I would get technical skills in any case, even if I worked as a freelancer. But what I really appreciate is the communication skills that I got while working for a Korean company. Because like in every country, in every culture, people's communication is different. The way Koreans communicate and the way Russians or Uzbeks or Americans communicate, it's very different. So Nunchi plays a big role in Korean company. So I think I got that sense of what we should do and when we should do and what we shouldn't do while working. And I think it's very important when you switch jobs or when you try to adapt into new company, because Koreans don't talk about it. You need to feel. You need to feel the mood in the room. You need to understand who is friendly to you and who is just trying to be polite. So in that case, that's what I appreciate the most, because I've seen very friendly companies and I've seen very toxic companies where Koreans are very conservative and they want you to just work. They want to use your resources as much as possible without treating you well. And you need to know when you should leave the company, because sometimes people just don't understand the situation and they just stay working in a bad mood, in a bad company. I think that's what I learned while working in Korea.
How about so we are in Korea? It's still Asian culture.
Yeah.
So here is high power distance.
Yeah.
So in a factory, so all sajanim is shouting and doing this kind of, but how the environment in software development companies?
First of all, nobody's shouting at you when you work for a company as a software developer, but they can still be passively aggressive to you. Like, let's say you need a monitor or you need a new laptop. They will just say, all right, we'll buy it, and they will not buy it to you. Or they will just say, no, we're not going to buy it, use what you have. So it's different, but it doesn't mean that working in a company means that your sajangnim is going to be friendlier to you. No, like people are people everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The way they communicate is different, but in general, I would say it's more calm. People don't shout, people don't get angry. Um, Again, there are companies that will appreciate your work and they will treat you in a nice way. And there are companies that are struggling financially, maybe, or the CEO is having a lot of stress. And they will just spread that stress to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. So how about flexibility working in IT companies? Is it flexible enough? I mean, you said last time you can come to work at 11 o'clock something.
Or yeah. So again, it depends on the company, but if you are, let's say, if your CEO needs you, they will give you a lot of freedom. They will not give you stress, or they will try to give you as less as possible. So these days I go to work at 11. Like I can go at 10, 9, but because of traffic jam or because sometimes I wake up late, I go to work at 11. And once a week I work remotely. I stay home and do remote job.
So it's 4-day office job, 1 day remote, right?
Yeah, 4 days office, 1 day remote. But since we have two offices, one is in Gangnam, another is in Pangyo, I spend 2 days in Gangnam, 2 days in Pangyo, and 1 day at home. Yeah, so in that case, it's very flexible. But we have other developers at work. They were surprised that our CEO agreed on remote job. So
Only exclusive for you?
not only for me, but they say that the CEO is very generous to me. I'm not saying I'm special, just everyone was surprised. So a lot of company workers in my company, a lot of my coworkers, they do remote job from time to time, but I think they don't give a remote day for like newcomers, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, like what we talked about the experiences and technologies you gained from company.
Yeah.
So now, what you contributed for company? Like you are from economics background, but you're competing in company with all this tech and computer engineering specialists, right?
Yeah. Well, I find it hard to answer this question because sometimes our contribution doesn't mean that the company will grow. Like in terms of your skills, you can work very hard, you can use your knowledge, but let's say if the sales part is very weak in the company will go bankrupt.
Sure.
And then your contribution means nothing. You just worked, you did your best, but it's not your fault that the company couldn't monetize that service. So it's kind of challenging to answer this question, but in terms of technology, I didn't contribute to Korean company, but I contributed to software development community, let's say. I did some contribution to open source projects that Koreans use in Korea. It's an open source e-commerce project from Netherlands, I think, yeah. And they create an API for e-commerce platforms. I found a mistake in their documentation because since it's a new platform and we are using it, we found a lot of misleading parts in the documentation. So I just found the mistake, corrected it, reached out the developers, explained the problem, explained the solution, and we fixed that documentation. I'm sure after that, a lot of, not only Korean, but a lot of companies in the world, they used that e-commerce API. And hopefully I made their job easier because it was a really important issue related to caching. Caching didn't work basically. And now, since documentation is all right, it works well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next questions will be about your technical skills. Is web developer, which programming languages and technologies do you use in how you apply in your projects?
So at work, we use like AWS, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, JavaScript, also Express, React Native, Mongo. Sometimes I have to search for, since it's a React Native app, and if we have an issue specifically on iOS, then we have to find the answer in Swift UI language. If it's an Android issue, it's Kotlin, Java or Kotlin, we have to search for that part of code, or we have to code it ourselves. So I wouldn't call it that it's our main stack, but sometimes it requires us to program in Swift UI or Kotlin. In my personal projects, I use Next.js because I build web projects. I use React Native. I remember I built a mini app on Kotlin, and now I want to build an application on Flutter. Actually, not only me, but there is a team of 5 people. All of us are ex-coworkers. We work together, and we still keep in touch. And we want to build an app ourselves. Maybe it will bring a lot of money, but for now it's for fun. Yeah, using Flutter, Nest.js, and I don't know, maybe Postgres. Let's see. Yeah.
So it's your side project, right?
It's our side project, but we already want to get some investment. Yeah. So I'm the only foreigner there. Like the rest 4 people are Koreans. So they know it better where to apply and when to apply to get money, maybe from the government, maybe from venture capitals, I don't know. Yeah.
You started with React, right? It's a JavaScript library. You said also on the top of React.js you use Next.js, which is mega framework we can call. So what's the main difference using Next.js and React.js? In which projects you can use Next, in which projects you can use Next.js?
So previously, I think the main reason why Next.js became popular was server-side rendering. But now in React, server-side rendering is available.
From 19?
Yes.
React 19.
Yes. I feel like, Next.js is good for caching now. The caching system is very interesting. In my opinion, it depends on the person and it depends on the background. For example, if you're experienced in Next.js, it's better for you to use Next rather than React because the app, the folder routing is interesting in Next. Like in in React, it's different. For me,
you should build your route.
Exactly, you should build it yourself.
File system.
Yeah. There is, in my opinion, it's not like for this project you need to use React, for this project you need to use Next.js, since with React 19 you can basically cover the same things as you can do in Next. One outstanding thing in Next is, for me right now, is caching. And also, I find it's not challenging, it's kind of funny because every Next.js update feels like a new framework because they change a lot of things. It depends on the person. Some people built it in jQuery. Still, if you can solve the issues, why
So we can call React.js or Next.js current version of jQuery, right? It was popular in 2010, 10, something like this.
Vue is also good. Vue.js was there next. I think it's also, especially, have you worked with Vue?
Yeah, we used, it's Next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's something like PHP has Laravel kind of framework. It's similar. It's the routing system automatically builds, right? When you run the project.
But also the Nitro engine. For example, if you want to deploy your project in using Bond.js or Node.js or whatever, you just create one file. You don't, in React or Next, you have to change the configuration. In Next, because they have Nitro engine, there is one file that you don't have to change and you can deploy it everywhere, which is also important. And styling system is different in Vue. In React, it can be CSS in React. In Next, or just Vue.js, it's I think it's more convenient. I'm not saying that Vue is better. What I mean is that there are a lot of options you can use for building your projects, and all of them can solve your issue. It depends on what you prefer. Angular is also good.
Yeah, the other day I was watching one of initial this company workers of Next.js. It started in 2016 with 10 people, now grown to up to 500 people. So it's growing so fast.
You mean the Vercel?
Yeah, Vercel team is developed, right? This Vue.js.
They have a lot of people now.
Which routing system you're using? It's app-based or pages-based?
In Next?
Yeah, page-based. So you have some bugs, some issues in app-based routing system, right? I'm also in my projects. I'm using page-based.
Yeah. But I think I had more experience using React itself with Vite than Next.js. But when I use Next.js, I think it's called folder-based, right?
Yeah. You build folder and service routing system. Yeah. So it was about technologies you use. So how about because we in the time of AI, all this stuff developing so fast, new technologies coming, disruptive technologies, and how do you get update yourself? Which online resources you use, or you're also keeping some books in JavaScript?
So in terms of updating with new technologies, I have newsletters from dev communities. I think one of them was Daily Dev, maybe? I think it was Daily Dev. Like, there were a lot of resources. If it's online, LinkedIn can help you because there are a lot of professionals that share their experience. And when, for example, I see a new word, RabbitMQ or Kafka, I read about them on LinkedIn. Someone shared something and I was just curious about it. And then I was like, all right, maybe I should learn it. And I just Google that stuff, and if I like it, and if I think that I will need it in the future, I do some research about it. If it's a technology, for example, that the existing technology, like a programming language Python or uh, JavaScript or C Sharp, there are a lot of books like the one that you saw today. It's like 700 pages of JavaScript. It's not a documentation, it's just the book about JavaScript. And the author shares his own experience, his own tips, how to use JavaScript, how to use Node.js, how to use like workers in Node.js. Yeah, I read those books. And I have friends that like they work in different parts of software development. Like one of them is DevOps engineer, and another is iOS engineer. I have a lot of backend developers, front-end developers, Android developers. So there is a lot of information right now. So I would, to summarize, it's just friends, books, and social media. Yeah.
Before maybe COVID period, there was limited resource, right? Watching during this COVID period, emerged all the YouTube videos and platforms, Coursera, Udemy, this kind of.
Yeah. Udemy courses are also fine to get the general idea of some, and they are not expensive. Like you can pay $10, like 15,000 won. You can buy a course, get the general idea, and then do some researches. Also, MIT, like Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they have some free courses.
Open source
Free courses. Also, Harvard University.
How about GS50, right? Have you seen these videos by Harvard?
Yes. There are a lot of them. And I even have some links to MIT, like institute courses, free courses, but they are really hard. They study algorithms there, and for example, their video lasts for 1 hour, but in order to understand that video, you might spend 1 week. Yeah.
Okay. So Alex, you worked with only Korean workers environment, and now working with internationals, right?
Yeah.
Like Europeans, American. How is multicultural environment looks like? I mean, working only with Koreans in Korean company, and you said your current job is involved professionals from different countries, right?
Yeah, and we have 5 people with F visa. Even my CEO has F4. He's from America. There is a big difference between working with only Koreans and working with American Koreans or British Koreans, just overseas Koreans, or just foreigners. Foreigners are more chill, more relaxed. You don't have to be stressed out all the time. And if you have an issue with someone, foreigners just come and tell you straight to your face, like, all right, you shouldn't do this because that's wrong. Koreans usually hold everything to themselves. If you do something stupid, they might say, all right, he's a foreigner. But if you can keep going and you keep doing that stupid stuff, they might just fire you. Yeah, again, it's different. It's just different. Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. What about your short time and long term goals in software development?
In Korea?
In general. You'll stay in Korea for a long time, or you have other plans?
I didn't want to stay in Korea for a long time initially.
Okay.
When I just came here, but now it's been 7 years in Korea. And this year I wanted to move to another country, but I just stayed here. And I don't know, maybe I'll stay here for another 10 years or 5 years, or maybe I'll just move to another country next year. I have no idea about it for now. Let's see how it goes. if I find, let's say, something interesting in Korea, I will stay here. If not, maybe I'll move. Because I'm getting tired of working for someone. I want to build something myself, or so I either build something myself or I go to a bigger company like fun company, Google, or maybe Korean big tech companies like Coupang or Naver. Let's see how it goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Good luck with your future endeavors. So, Alex, I see you running your own Telegram channel.
Yeah.
And it's conducted in English.
Yeah.
You're also participating on weekends, different meetups.
Yeah.
And you're very active in community these projects. Can you elaborate about those projects?
So, I have a Telegram channel, and I just thought that I need to share my experience with people, or just, some people keep diaries. Even I used to keep a diary. I kept a diary for 10 years, and then one day I accidentally put it in my washing machine, and it disappeared. Everything that was in that notebook disappeared, which is sad because all my memories were there. And I wanted something that is hard to delete. And I thought about the Telegram channel because I think we forget a lot of emotions, we forget a lot of events that we experience. And I think it's a very good idea to document it or to post it somewhere, not social media, like not Instagram, because Instagram is not for those purposes. I thought that Telegram channel was good, and I'm just posting whatever I find interesting, or if something good happens to me, I upload it. And it's good both for me, because even now when I read my posts from April or May, I start think about what I experienced, and it makes me happy. And it's good for the readers because there are a lot of students, or there are a lot of just people who want to get into software development. And it might be challenging both mentally and financially and even physically, because you have to find relevant information, you have to support yourself, and you see that AI is coming to the market and it's getting harder to get a job. I think it's very hard for students and just junior developers to fight their fears about losing their jobs or about not being able to find a job. Hopefully my channel helps them. Yeah, hopefully.
So this is interesting and very helpful. I also follow your channel.
Thank you.
Telegram channel. So I think you didn't say about the meetups. Gatherings.
There were a lot of meetups, and I think it's very important to participate in meetups because networking is already half of your success. If you know the right person, that person can solve all your problems. For example, I found my current job through networking. My friend who introduced software development to me, he invited me to a meetup where I met a guy who knows my CEO. And he just suggested me to my CEO at that time, and that's how I found my current job. I don't think I applied for that company. As you see, knowing the right person is the key here. And yeah, meetups are a great way to expand your network. There are a lot of free meetups. You don't have to pay. You don't have to be a software developer, like working for a company. You can be a student. You can be a designer. You can just visit that meetup, share your ideas, network with people, and just meet some good friends or meet some talented people. Um, One of the major meetups in Seoul right now is iOS meetup. Then we have Free Code Camp Seoul, and there are like special events conducted by Google, Microsoft, and Nvidia, like international companies. But you have to check their official websites to get the date of the event and to be able to register to them. So as for iOS Meetup and Free Code Camp Seoul, you can use the application, the app Meetup. You can find those events on that app and just go and network.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this video will be posted on YouTube platform.
Yeah.
So can you share some links in comments or description?
I have a little thing to say. I forgot to mention it. Like, since you said I have my Telegram channel,
Mm-hmm.
I see that most of the subscribers, they are very good. Like, no complaint about it. But a lot of people want to get a job in a short period of time.
Mm.
But the thing is not to get a job, but to keep that job. So I see a lot of people, they find a job, they work for 1 or 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get fired. As you can see, the point is not to solve your problem in a quick way, but to solve your problem in a good way, in a sustainable way. So if someone thinks that they can study for like 6 months and then go to Naver or Kakao, that's not gonna happen. It's very hard, right now it's getting harder to get a job. So it's important not to rush, because learning a framework doesn't mean that you're a software developer. Knowing how to learn a new framework makes you a software developer. So it's very important to develop that skill where, for example, you can be given a new language, let's say Solidity, C#, C++, Python, and you can learn it, you can teach yourself. That skill is more important than knowing a framework. But as you may know, a lot of people just want to find a job in 6 months, which is not bad if they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I see in the market, those people usually lose their jobs.
So then comes next questions. What
Yeah.
is 3 main points is a senior software developer for entry-level people or ones who
all right,
are considering to
okay.
enter this software development
Thank
business?
you for asking this question. So, for junior developers, it's not a must, you don't have to do it, but if you do, there's a high chance that you get a job. First of all, it's a strong portfolio. You need to cover as many fields as you can. For example, if you are a front-end developer, you can build, first of all, a front-end app, admin dashboard, like a small web project. Then you can build the back-end side. Not a big one, but it should include common database, REST API, CRUD system maybe. And then maybe it would be a great idea to build a mini app like using React Native or Flutter, because we use our smartphones more than we use our laptops. Koreans, for example, if you want to buy something like Coupang, do you use Coupang web or Coupang app?
Usually Coupang app.
App. A lot of people use apps. So if you create a mini app, it's not gonna make your portfolio worse. It will just show that you have that proficiency. So for junior developers, I recommend to build like 3 or 4 different projects on different platforms, not only web. For middles, learn some Korean maybe, do something more like not only REST API but gRPC, go to more protocols, difference between TCP IP, like those protocols, maybe learn some WebSockets. A lot of people go into Socket AI, IO, but there is like a Californian company, I think, Sandbird. It covers Socket IO's features, but faster. And I think maybe you know the guy from Uzbekistan works there, Sardor Eke. He works for Sandbird in Seoul.
Oh, really?
He's an Android developer.
Mm.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Okay.
So, as for seniors, I don't know. Like, I am a senior developer in my company, but I don't think that I'm a senior developer in general. Like, I'm not saying that I'm stupid or bad. Just think that if you're a senior developer in one company, we talked about it before, it doesn't mean that you go to Google or you go to Spotify or Uber and you'll be a senior developer there.
Sure.
So it's very changeable. For seniors, I don't think that seniors need any advice. Seniors know whatever, everything that they need to know. But yeah, again, strong portfolio, Korean language, going deep into development is very important.
Integrating the blockchain kind of stuff or AI, some maybe chatbots. It will be good for differentiate themselves among other candidates and got good jobs, right?
There are open source AI models like Grok and Llama, I think, from Facebook. It's also for free. You can use them as well. You don't need to develop AI, but you can use the API from it and develop, like, train your chatbot or train your assistant. Yeah.
So before shooting this video, you said you were using cloud, right, to save videos. So nowadays everything is on cloud, right? We're using an iPhone, iCloud, putting all the files and these pictures there. Then Notion, do you use Notion?
Yeah.
Notion also iCloud, and it's cross-platform. You can use in web, in mobile, in tablets. Very good. You have any takes about this kind of productivity tools?
Productivity tools. In my current company, we use Notion, and we sometimes, because like our sales team is very big, they use Excel, and sometimes we also use Excel, not for big stuff, but I think Excel can be considered as a productivity tool as well, to just document your progress. But for self-development, I think Notion is the best. Notion provides a lot of tools. I have my personal Notion that I keep only for myself, where I just wrote my targets for this year, my goals, my plans, what I did, what I wasn't able to do. In that case, Notion is very important. Yeah. Okay.
How about communicating with coworkers? Which messenger do you use?
Oh,
like Microsoft
Slack.
Teams, Slack. It's
Yeah.
paid version of Slack, right? Before we used this unpaid free version, it keep you texts and images only for 3 months. Something
90
like
days. Yeah. So we use Slack for our company communication, but well, if we are, for example, if I'm very close with my coworker, we go Kakao Talk. Because Slack is good, but I think Slack keeps everything as very formal, very official. Kakao Talk is better. You can send stickers. Yeah. So communication at work, Slack. For personal communication, Kakao Talk.
Before we were using Slack for our corporate communications. Now, because of security, we are using Synology.
Oh, okay.
From NES. So that's good. Next, maybe final question will be: so we are human beings, right? We got tired, and we are not always on the screen. So how do you do? What do you do in your free time? What hobbies you do? Or how do you balance your working life?
So When I not applied, when we were talking the uh, contract, when we were discussing the contract in my in my current company, uh, I specifically mentioned that I want work-life balance to my CEO, um, which I think is very important for everyone because I got burned out in my previous companies. I had to go to hospitals a couple of times, and I see that a lot of beginners they work a lot, and they think that companies will appreciate their work, but usually it doesn't happen. All right. Um, I used to hike a lot in the past. I used to go hiking every week. Nowadays, I go to the gym. I think gym is very important. Not gym itself, but if you're into running, jogging, jogging is good. If you are into like martial arts is good. Whatever makes your body move is good for your psychology because you don't get stressed out and you feel like you feel a lot of pressure going away when you do something physical. So for me, it's gym nowadays. But I think starting from spring, I'll start going hiking again because it's too cold right now.
Yes,
I don't want to go hiking
possible
now.
currently. So
Yeah.
you these days you go into gym, right?
Yeah, I try to go to the gym 3, 4 times a week. But yeah,
Is it expensive? How much per month you
I
pay?
pay. So I paid only for 3 months now because maybe I'll change my apartment. Maybe I'll move somewhere else. For now, it's how much was it? 180,000.
For 3 months?
Yeah, ship pal mano. Yeah, I think yeah.
That's good. So, Alex, we touched all the technical
Yeah.
in communication, all these topics. But I am from economics also. I did my MBA in finance.
Yeah.
You're from economics. You masters also. You said in business. So, if you want to talk about economics or software development, you can go ahead. Like we have startups or solution companies. We have system integration companies.
Yeah.
You worked for a couple of companies, right?
Yeah.
So, for especially inter-level, these people who are preparing or applying jobs, which ones are suitable?
If you're very good at computer science, maybe AI company is good. But for me, it was a marketing company. A marketing company that wanted to build their own product. Not bad because it taught me a lot of things about sales. It taught me that when you create a product, software developers are not that special now. Creating an application has become a lot easier. There are a lot of tools, no-code tools, low-code tools.
Yeah.
It's very important to sell what you're doing. If you cannot sell your product, there is no meaning of building your product. It can be a pet project, but monetizing is very important. I have never worked in an like economy-related companies. Like, can you give me an idea what kind of?
I mean the economy. When I talk about economics or software development, some the software companies running but getting finances from these investors. Even so, they are not yet they launched their products.
You
this
mean
kind of stuff.
everyone does it. Like seed round, Series A, Series B. Every company has to do it because at some point you need money. You need money to keep your developers. You need money to pay your other workers. Yeah, every company that is doing something good, they need to apply for some kind of funding. But I've seen a lot of companies building nothing or building a very bad product and getting a lot of money from TIPS. It's a Korean scholarship program or something like that. They pay 800 million won if you win. But I feel like getting funding from government is not about building something cool. It's about how you present it. You can just show something in PDF file and get money. Every company has to do it. Yeah.
So Alex, you and me again from not from software development in this field. We graduate from different economics and finance.
Yeah.
So if you say it can be additional benefit for you because so at the same time you do coding.
Yeah.
And you also do business models, right? How it works,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it can. For my current boss, CEO,
Yeah.
maybe works 30 years in software development,
Yeah.
but out of 30 years, 25 years he worked as PM, project management. He knows how to run business,
Yeah, yeah.
how to get clients, very active.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in your job, you don't only do coding job. You have the critical thinking. You formulate your thoughts, and
Yeah.
there is discussions. I think it's very useful in this perspective. Right?
I think the difference between coding and software development is that coding is about typing, but software development is about architecture, how to monetize it, how to make it cheaper, how to make it faster. So it's not like you have a task and you do it. It's more like you have a task and you have to optimize your future tasks, and you need to implement the current task so that it will not affect your other features in the app. Yeah, that's the difference between code and software development. Thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex, for your interesting talk. If there are any points I skipped you want to say, you can go ahead.
I think we covered most of the things. Like, again, my recommendation for new students not to rush, but again, nobody's gonna listen to me because people are people. People tend to make mistakes. If someone is struggling, I want to say that it's not forever. If you study hard, if you have a good mentor, you can do it. Even if you don't have a mentor, you still can do it, but it can take longer time. We both studied in MIT, Nginx.
Yes.
It's very important not to stop learning and to learn how to continue learning.
Yeah.
Because once you finish your course or boot camp or university, there is no more teacher with you, no more mentor. You need to be able to teach yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good skill that everyone should get.
Definitely, we should
Yeah.
get updated
Yeah.
with new technologies. Thank you for coming all the way from Seoul in this,
Good weather.
good weather with snow, and participating in this program. I wish all the best in your future endeavors in this personal and professional careers. We were in again startup bunker. So thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.